Okay, so this has been our week of scarecrows, and we're going to read our final book on scarecrows, and this is called The Scarecrow Hat. Now, let's go ahead and recap the books that we've read this week. The Little Scarecrow Boy. This was about a scarecrow boy and his family and him learning how to make his fierce faces. We also read The Scarecrow, and remember this one? He was alone out in the fields until he met a friend, and then he kept him close to his heart. When they said he was close to his heart, that meant that he was in his little pocket. And then we have The Lonely Scarecrow, which became a jolly snowman. And then we just had this book, Scarecrow. And this was just about how the scarecrow was made, what parts he was made with, and those types of things. So today we're going to read this book, The Scarecrow's Hat. So let's go ahead and see what this one's all about. The Scarecrow's Hat, written by Ken Brown. "That's a nice hat," said Chicken to Scarecrow. "Yes, it is," replied Scarecrow, "but I'd rather have a walking stick. I've been standing here for a year now, and my arms are so tired. I'd love a walking stick to lean on. I'd swap my hat for a walking stick any day." Now, Chicken didn't have a walking stick, but she knew someone who did. "That's a nice walking stick," said Chicken to Badger. "Yes, it is," replied Badger, "but I'd rather have a piece of ribbon. It gets hot and stuffy underground, so I prop my door open with my stick. But I'm always tripping over it. If I had a ribbon, I could tie the door open. I'd swap my walking stick for a ribbon any day." Now, Chicken didn't have a ribbon, but she knew someone who did. Chicken knows everybody. "That's a nice ribbon," said Chicken to the Crow. "Yes, it is," said Crow, "but I'd rather have some wool. My nest is on this high stone ledge, and it is very hard to sit on. I'd love some warm, soft wool to line it with. I'd swap this ribbon for some wool any day." Now, Chicken didn't have any wool, but she knew someone who did. "That's a nice wool coat," said Chicken to Sheep. "Yes, it is," replied Sheep, "but I'd rather have a pair of glasses. I have to keep a lookout for the wolf, and my eyes are not as good as they used to be. I really need a pair of glasses. I'd swap some of my wool for a pair of glasses any day." Now, Chicken didn't have a pair of glasses, but she knew somebody who did. "That's a nice pair of glasses," said Chicken to Owl. "Yes, it is," said Owl. "My old ones broke, so I had to get a new pair. But I'd rather have a blanket. The sun streams through my windows and keeps me awake all day, which wouldn't matter if I had a good thick blanket to sleep under. I'd swap my glasses for a blanket any day." Now, Chicken didn't have a blanket, but she knew someone who did. "That's a nice blanket," said Chicken to Donkey. "Yes, it is," replied Donkey, "but I'd rather have a few feathers. The flies drive me crazy buzzing around my ears. My tail isn't quite long enough to flick them away, but if I had some long feathers tied to the end of it, I could swat them easily. I'd swap my blanket for a few long feathers any day." A few long feathers. Do you think Chicken knows anybody with a few long feathers? Let's see. Quick as a flash, Chicken pulled out 1, 2, 3 of her longest feathers and tied them to Donkey's tail. Donkey was delighted and, true to his word, swapped his blanket for the feathers. Chicken took the blanket to Owl, who swapped it for his glasses, the old ones, of course. She took the glasses to Sheep, who swapped them to her for wool. She took the wool to Crow, who swapped it for her ribbon. She took the ribbon to Badger, who swapped it for his walking stick. Finally, she took the walking stick to Scarecrow. With a grateful sigh of relief, he leaned his old, tired arms on the stick and gladly swapped it for his battered old hat. Chicken took the hat and filled it with fresh, sweet-smelling straw. "That's a nice nest," said Duck. "Yes, it is," said Chicken. "I wouldn't swap it for anything." And this is our last story of the week because it didn't really talk about the scarecrow too much, but I thought it was a great story of how hardworking the chicken was and how she went around and she found all of these things so that way she can have that hat. So this is a great way to end our Scarecrow week, and I hope you enjoyed this book. Bye.